Welcome to the January 24th special meeting of the Township of Denville Planning Board. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have the notice of public meeting, please?
I hereby announce and state that adequate notice of this meeting was provided by virtue of a resolution scheduling the time, date, and place of regular meetings for the planning board of the Township of Denville for the year 2024, which resolution was adopted by the board on January 10th, 2024, and was published in the Citizen of Morris County, and by forwarding of such resolutions to all persons on the request list, and by posting of said resolution on the bulletin board in the municipal building. All the above actions being in accordance with NJSA 10:4-6. To the members of the public joining us this evening, please put your cell phones on silent. Once the chair opens the meeting up to the public, we will call on you in turn. Thank you.
Thank you. May we have the roll call, please?
Member Chardy?
Here.
Member Kuzer?
Yes.
Member Bennis?
Here.
Member Moffitt?
Here.
Member Turcott?
Here.
Member Behrens?
Here.
Member Lyden will not be joining us this evening. Mayor Andes?
Here.
And Chair Schmidt?
Here.
Our professionals this evening, we have Ms. Hubbard sitting in for Mr. Brewer,
Good evening.
Mr. Kastner,
Good evening.
and Mr. Rushy.
Thank you.
Mr. Rush, Mr. Kessler, can you please stand? I do solemnly swear.
I solemnly swear.
Must state your name.
I, Jason Pastor, solemnly swear.
That I will support the
Solemnly swear.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
and to the government established in the United States and in this state,
And to the government established in the United States and in this state.
under the authority of the people.
Under the authority of the people.
If you choose so, so help me God.
So help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear.
that I will impartially and justly
That I will impartially and justly.
perform all of the duties of the office
Perform all the duties of the office of planning consultant.
according to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Cheat sheet.
Cheat sheet, a lot easier.
Thank you. We now have the minutes from January 10th, 2024. Do any of the board members have any questions or comments or concerns about any of the minutes? Hearing none, may I have the motion to approve the minutes as prepared?
So moved.
Second.
Member Bennis?
Yes.
Member Moffitt?
Yes.
Member Chardy?
Yes.
Member Turcott?
Yes.
Member Behrens?
Yes.
Mayor Andes?
Yes.
And Chair Schmidt?
Yes.
Thank you.
Purchasing, we have no items this month. First thing on our agenda is a resolution to appoint conflict counsel for the planning board. I will let our board attorney explain that.
So I'm Lisa Hubbard, I'm with the attorney of Arizona Falcon, and represent the planning board. Unfortunately, we also represent, another entity, RBRSA, and it's a conflict with this application, so we'll be stepping down, and Steve Warner will be, stepping in and handling this application only for the planning board.
Thank you. Have all the board members had a chance to review the resolution as presented? Are there any questions or any comments, concerns? May I have a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
So moved. Second.
Member Bennis?
Yes.
Member Chardy?
Yes.
Member Moffitt?
Yes.
Member Kuzer?
Yes.
Member Turcott?
Yes.
Mayor Andes?
Abstain.
And Chair Schmidt?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll be stepping down.
And, Chairman, the abundance of proportion, I will recuse myself of this application.
Very well.
And I'll step down.
team, please come forward.
How's everyone doing? Sorry about that.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board. For the record, my name is Chris Murphy from the law firm of Murphy, Schiller, and Wilkes, here on behalf of the applicant. We are here seeking preliminary final site plan approval in connection with the development of a property in the Dock Road Redevelopment Plan District. We received today a letter from a neighbor with some concerns about the development and some a request to meet with them to resolve a few issues that they saw could potentially be, could arise from the development. While we're not conceding that we in any way agree with their assertions on the facts, we believe that in light of their concerns, in light of the fact they are our neighbors, and would like to maintain a relationship with them and have a good relationship in order to develop this project successfully, we would want to adjourn this application for a date certain, the next available date that we could have. It would give us time to meet with them, sit with them, have our engineers meet, discuss some of the concerns that they have. I'm not sure if the board, council, or chair is in receipt of that letter, if it's been shared. I believe it was sent to the board's secretary, and I'm assuming it will be distributed after this meeting.
Well, I have quite a bit of letters, so be a little more specific.
Okay. The letter is, and if we could be provided with those as counsel for the applicant.
Lisa has them.
Oh, Lisa has all of the letters?
Yeah, I have the two,
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought there's one main letter from our neighbor, dated January 23rd, 2024 from Econ Planning and Design, LLC. And then they had referenced a few other letters, one I believe from DEP and one from the Rockaway Valley Sewage Authority. Are those the only letters that are on?
Yep, that I just got right now.
Okay, all right. So that's essentially the entirety of the letters we're talking about. So we would like to meet with our neighbor to address the concerns that they have, see if we can come up with a solution. We would be requesting an adjournment, but before I request that adjournment, this board needs to take jurisdiction over this application. And one of the concerns that they had in their letter was that there was improper notice and that this board does not in fact have jurisdiction. The basis for that was the fact that there is a mistake, unfortunately, but that can be easily resolved, on the first page of the site plan that says that the property is split between a portion of the property in Denville and a portion of the property in Rockaway, Borough of Rockaway. That is a mistake. The entirety of this property is in Denville. The legal description contained within the recorded deed states that and specifically addresses the fact that this is a Denville property only. There are no proposed improvements or disruptions to the property on what they call Lot 4 in the Borough of Rockaway. A long way of saying this board does have jurisdiction, it was properly noticed. We not only included the 200-foot list notice for our lot, but also lots 6 and 7, which, as we described in the notice, there could be potential improvements grading on those lots. So out of an abundance of caution, we did notice off of those lots as well. I did speak with the board attorney. I believe he can advise the board, but I believe he's in agreement with me. I say all of this because the board needs to take jurisdiction over the application in order to adjourn us. If we didn't have jurisdiction, then we couldn't adjourn us to the next meeting. So I'll defer to the board attorney, but that is our position.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, Steve Warner on behalf of the board, Mr. Murphy is correct in what he says. I did have an opportunity to review the content of the notice, found it to be sufficient under the municipal land use law. I found it to be timely served and published on January 10 in the official newspaper, and certified mail sent on January 12, 2024, both of which are at least 10 days prior to this evening. And I did check and confirm that the 200-foot property lists that were ordered and relied upon by the applicant were lists that were related to block 62002, lot 1, the subject property, but also block 62002, lots 6 and 7. The perimeter, the way it works, as everyone knows, is 200-foot perimeter from, per the tax assessor's list, from those 3 properties was utilized. And it's my understanding, and I'll defer to Dag, but our administrator, but that there was a cross-reference to the certified mail slips, and that they cross-referenced, if you will. So therefore, for lots 1, 6, and 7, there is jurisdiction. The representation is now made by council, that I believe it was an allegation and a submittal that I got today as well, which our board clerk has as well, and that is a concern expressed not only with lots 6 and 7, and as I said, no concern. They utilized those lots as part of their notice for jurisdiction purposes, but also a block 15, lot 4 in Rockaway Borough was the concern expressed by the neighbor. The representation is that, but for an error on page 1 of the site plan, there is nothing, no development intended with respect to what I'll refer to as lot 4. So based upon that representation, and I assume council can provide any documentation, including the deed reference, on behalf of the applicant, it is my legal opinion at this stage, unless and until somebody provides different evidence to impact that decision, the board has jurisdiction to hear and decide the case. With that jurisdiction, then the board can, based upon the adjournment request, if the request is accepted, carry the matter without further notice to a date certain, time and place. I suspect this time will be the same time as we started this evening, and the place will be the same place. But I'll leave that to our clerk.
I apologize for the comment, but I do have a point to refute that one comment, so it becomes open public. I would like to make a comment, just.
I'm sorry?
It's got to come on public.
Yeah, oh no, I know that, but it's subject to the chair if you wish to hear with respect to, this is solely with respect to the jurisdiction, and in particular, this particular lot. I would ask if, it's still up to the discretion of the chair, but I'll ask if applicant's counsel has any objection to this gentleman addressing the issue of jurisdiction.
I have no objection to that.
Okay. Mr. Chairman?
Do any of the board members have any concern on that?
Just to be clear, excuse me, Chairman, based on his testimony, I may have to call my engineer and call other professionals in order to set the record straight on this issue of jurisdiction, so.
Well, I think you can ask, you can deal with that issue. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Once we know who this person is and what the position is,
sure.
yeah, I think is what he's asking, Mr. Chairman, and then he may or may not, it's up to the applicant, feel compelled to refute what might be coming our way. So,
Okay, but.
Can you please come up here to the side desk here? State your name, address.
is this my moment? Yes, I'm good. And sir, are you an attorney on behalf of any individual, or are you an individual neighboring objector or otherwise?
My name is Tom Mulligan. I'm the mayor of Rockaway Borough, 1 East Main Street, Rockaway, New Jersey.
And I think you intend to testify, correct? With
Correct.
respect to this jurisdictional issue?
Correct.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to God or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, it is.
Okay, with the chair's permission, please proceed.
Thanks. Just wanted to read a statement on behalf in regards to whether the planning board does have jurisdiction over this application. The application as submitted includes lands that are not located within Denville Township. Specifically, the site plan identifies the subject property as block 62002, lot 1 in Denville Township, and block 15, lot 4 in Rockaway Borough. The application would result in the property located in the borough becoming landlocked without road access or any discernible means of egress or ingress. This would explain why the parcels have been historically linked together. There may be potential discrepancy in both the ownership records and the municipal boundary. The subject property, as per deeds and ownership records dating back to 1961, is indicated to consist of Block 62002, Lot 1, Denville, and Block 15, Lot 4 in Rockaway Borough. Further investigation is required to determine the ownership and chain of title and the precise and correct location of boundary and property lines. While the developer has evidently been in frequent contact and communication with Denville, the subject property and its development application to date, the developer has not had any communication or contact with the Borough of Rockaway whatsoever regarding the portion of the subject property that is in Rockaway Borough, or with regard to any of the matters of significant local concern to the borough community implicated by this application. The borough is concerned that certain agency applications may have been submitted that included the parcel located within Rockaway Borough, and with respect to which the borough was neither notified nor consulted. All these issues require further investigation and review. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and appreciate the comment.
And I'm sorry, before you proceed with the chair's permission, you have nothing further, correct?
Nothing further.
Okay.
Great, well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, we do appreciate the comment. Unfortunately, it is factually and legally inaccurate. The subject property is strictly in the bounds and jurisdiction of Denville. I have the deed, which was recorded on August 14th, 2023. I could submit it as an exhibit to this board if council and chairman would like to be reviewed by this board. There are no disturbances and no developments proposed on the lot referenced by the mayor. So in fact, unfortunately, as a matter of law, the Borough of Rockaway has zero jurisdiction over this application.
And you said you have an exhibit A1 deed?
Yes.
I would suggest it be marked A1 for identification purposes, Mr. Chairman, and you can, with your permission, you can submit that to the board.
Exhibit A1 will say recorded deed, and we did this today. Or we did it we'll date it today.
You're dating it today as the exhibit.
It's
The
exhibit.
date of the deed.
No, I'm not signing the deed right now.
Just for clarification, in case anyone was wondering.
Thank you.
Is this your only copy?
That is not the original. It is.
Can you email that to me so I can?
Of course I will. Of course I will.
Thank you. A1. Do you have anything further?
I have nothing further.
Mr. Chairman, may I have permission to ask a question or two of applicant's counsel? So again, the representation, together with a copy of the deed, is that the subject property is block 62002, lot 1 in Denville, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And the further representation is that there is at least the possibility that there would be development, off-site work, including grading, may be performed on block 62002, lots 6 and or lot 7, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And the representation is there would be no such development or off-site work with respect to any other lot?
That is correct. And
Any other lot would include block 15, lot 4 in Rockaway Borough?
yeah, that's correct, Counselor.
I'm sorry, please.
No, I just for the record again, and this will be addressed prior to the next hearing, there is an incorrect, I acknowledge the fact that there is an incorrect note on the first page of the site plan. The little portion on the top right that nobody reads, well, sometimes people read it, and it says the wrong thing. It identifies the property incorrectly, it was a mistake, and it will be fixed, but the testimony is, and is backed up by the site plan, quite frankly, there's no disturbances or work contemplated in the Borough of Rockaway, and therefore the Borough of Rockaway has no jurisdiction of this application.
And it would be your understanding then that if the board proceeds with jurisdiction and hears the application, there is no authority, at least at that stage, for there to be development on block block 15, lot 4, in the borough of Rockaway, unless and until such jurisdiction is obtained.
That is correct.
I have nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Can I have one quick comment? If it's your question.
Yes.
With the extra time that's being allotted to this application, obviously with the adjournment, I would just request some additional due diligence between us just to rectify any discrepancies.
Mayor, absolutely, I'll give you my card, you can reach out to me, and we'll, absolutely.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Mr. Chairman, I might also suggest that in the interim, among other things, applicants, council submit the corrected cover sheet
Correct.
with the apparent error or typo removed, so that there is a confirmation on the plan from the engineer that that was a mistake and it was corrected.
Yes.
Absolutely, we will do that, thank you.
With that, if there's nothing further, Mr. Chairman, on the jurisdictional issue, my opinion remains the same, that the board does have jurisdiction to hear the case, and with jurisdiction, the board can, among other things, adjourn the matter if the board accepts, is amenable to accepting the request of the applicant to a date, certain, time, and place.
With no further notice.
With no further notice, yes, as I said before.
Okay.
The notice would be the announcement this evening.
When is the next available date for this application?
So, Chris, are we looking at a special meeting, or are we looking at an actual true date?
I'm sure my,
Actual true date would be April the 10th.
okay, then that is not gonna be, I'm feeling my client behind me, so no.
If you don't mind, I'll pull board, see if we're available on February the 28th.
Sure.
I'll check my calendar as well.
Let's start with the attorney. My professionals,
I'm sorry, what was that date?
the 28th of February. Good.
4th August.
We got an attorney, we got a planner, we need an engineer. Beautiful, thank you.
I'd like to call the board now to see if the board members are available on February 28th. Tim?
I'll be available.
John? Thank you. Jackie? Nope. Mark?
I'm available as of now.
Okay, it looks like all the board members here are available. So with that said, we will have another special meeting on February the 28th at this time in this room. Without further notice, the notice is given now.
Thank you, thank you.
Twice as many of us should come up the next time.
Absolutely.
I was just gonna say thank you, and thank you for the consideration. Mr. Mayor, we'll connect, and we'll be connecting with our neighbor as well. Look forward to coming back, see you guys soon.
Okay, thank you. So that said, any issues related to this application is now being deferred to February 28th. You're welcome to stay